Hello everyone, photographer Andredesignz here with a new retouch video. Alright, so on this shoot I did not have a stylist, so I was the one that actually styling the model. That flowers crown that you're seeing there, that was done by me. Alright, so we're going to start editing this image. This image was taken with a Nikon D750, and as you can see on the screen, the shutter speed was 400. I was shooting at 1.8 ISO 100. I was using the 85mm lens for this shoot. So I'm in Lightroom right now, so I'm going to go over to Photoshop. Right click and click Photoshop right here. Alright, good. So now that I'm in Photoshop, the first step is to go over here to the action panel. You can go to my website at andredesignz.com, go over to tutorials, and you can click on the download button right here. That takes you to Dropbox, and then you'll see a download button here, or maybe you'll see a screen that asks you to sign in or something like that. At the bottom you'll have an option there to say, yo, just continue to this section. You download the action, you come over to Photoshop, you go to Windows in Actions. If the action panel is not here, you can drag the action over, or you could just come right here and click on load action right here. Alright, to turn it into a button, you come right here and click on button mode. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do now is to apply frequency separation. All my images are edited with frequency separation, because frequency separation, you know, keeps the texture, and I use a mixer brush that works well for me. Alright, so I'm going to come over here to the frequency separation 16-bit, and I've actually updated the frequency separation action, so please download the new action. The radius is going to be at 64%, and I'm going to work on the low frequency layer. So on the brush, you're going to hold down on this, and then you're going to see the option for mixer brush. Ensure that your mixer brush is cleared. Normally when there's if both of these are actually highlighted, you're going to have a color here. So you come right here, clear, and then unclick this option right here. Ensure that you're using a wet of 2%, and everything else remains the same. For the brush, you just pick a soft rounded brush. Alright, so I'm just going to zoom up the image a little bit more. Then I'm going to use the bracket on the keyboard. It's right next to P. You have a left and right bracket that can adjust the size of the brush. So using the mixer brush, I'm basically going to even out the skin itself. So what I'm doing right now is just flattening the skin, so everything can become one. And I normally suggest that when you're mixing, you mix from the dark, you mix the dark area separately from the highlighted area, because you don't want it to come into one. It's not going to look good at all, so you have to be mindful of that at all times. Alright, so let's look at the before and after for what I've done so far. Before, after. So I'm just flattening the image a little bit. So I'm working in the light area, then this is a dark area here. I was shooting natural light because I don't know, I just love shooting natural light. I'm using the 85mm lens, the Nikon 1.8, and honestly I want to get the 1.4, but I think I'm gonna get that in Sigma. I really can't spend $1,700 right now on a Nikon lens, so I'm gonna think about getting the Sigma lens. Coming down to the arm, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm just mixing the dark area separate from the lighted area. Let's come over here, get my brush a little bit smaller by using the bracket on the keyboard. Alright, good. I'm going to come down to the arm right here. Good. So that's it. Let's look at the before and after for everything. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Before, after. I'm going to go to the high frequency layer, and then I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, and I'm going to go over to the patch tool right here. I'm going to hold down on it, and I'm going to select spot healing brush. So the spot healing brush One of my subscribers is saying I should try it, so I'm just gonna do it right now. Alright, I don't like what I'm seeing right here, so I'm just gonna undo. I'm gonna get the brush a little bit smaller. Oh, sorry, I need to go back on the high frequency layer. Alright, I don't think I like using the healing brush, so let me try something. I'm gonna select sample all layers and see what it looks like. Alright, no, that doesn't work. Alright, I'm just gonna go back. I am not going to use that. I'm gonna come here and use clone stamp. So I'm gonna press S on my keyboard for the clone stamp, and then I'm gonna go back to the high frequency layer, get it smaller. Then I'm gonna go to 100% on the flow, and I'm just going to sample an area and just cover over the pimple. So it's best to use a tool that you're comfortable with, because if you try to use something else, your work is going to be totally different if you're not used to that tool. So that's basically what happened just now. It's giving me something that doesn't work for me. Not sure if it's because I was using the frequency separation actions why that happened, but maybe it would work better if it wasn't a frequency separation layer I was working on. Yeah, so alright, good. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so I can get all the others. So I'm going to come down to the cheekbone here. And it's good to always take your time and make adjustments, removing the pimples from the skin. It's not something that you should rush, but you know, I'm doing it fast right now because I don't want to have a long video. I want to keep my videos at 20 minutes or even 17 minutes if I can. But you know, if you really want to learn something or get an understanding of how to edit properly, even if the video is at 30 minutes, I would suggest that you watch the entire video, because you know, you might see something in the middle or the end that might help. Alright, so this is a birthmark, so I'm not going to remove it. I'm just going to keep it there. Right here. So let me see. So to move it, I'm actually holding on the shift on the space bar right here, and I'm just moving. Alright, good. So there's nothing else I think I need to do with the model's face. That looks good. Alright, so the next step now is to do some dodge and burning to put some shape back in the face. Seeing that I've flattened it. I don't know why I clicked on that. So dodge and burn right here. And then you're going to press B on the keyboard. Automatically it's going to bring up back the last tool we were using. So hold on shift and press B until you see the brush. So there's the brush. Ensure that your flow is at 1% when you're using the dodge and burn layers. So I'm going to start with the burn layer. That's the last layer. And then I'm just going to, you know, just contour the face a little bit, so that looks good. The nose bridge, just gonna contour it a little bit. I mean, you don't want to add too much to it, you know, just a little to show the detail. Alright, that looks good. I'm just gonna go up to well, before and after. So I'm gonna go to the dodge layer now. Just gonna highlight right here, right under the eye. I'm gonna highlight right here as well, and then right here I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more, and I'm just gonna highlight right here. So basically what I'm doing, I'm highlighting the section that light was actually hitting. So I'm going back down to the burn. I'm just gonna burn right here. Then I'm gonna burn under the lip, because it actually creates a effect where the lips look full. I think that's what it does. I'm gonna go back to the dodge layer. and do some more contouring on the model's chin. So I'm basically following what the makeup artist did, you know, or actually painting where I see light was hitting. Alright, right here. Good. I'm not sure what's happening right here, but let me see. Okay, it was like that. Okay. Alright, I might just fix it later. Alright, so let's look at the before and after for the dodge and burning. Before, after. See, it gives the face a little shape now. Good. Alright, so the next step now is to go to, I'm going to create a new layer. So it's going to be Control Shift Alt E. So I create a new layer, then I'm going to Control J and duplicate the new layer. And then I'm going to go to Camera Raw. So you can go to Camera Raw by go to Filter and hit Camera Raw here, or you can use the Shift Alt A for the shortcut. Alright, so now I'm in Camera Raw. The first thing I'm going to do is to hit Auto, because you know I'm always hitting Auto and see what Auto looks like. Now I'm going to tweak it a little bit. So I'm going to bring up the shadows a little bit. The dehaze, I'm going to play with it as well. Look, you see what the dehaze does? See that? So I'm going to bring it up a little bit, like right there. The blacks, I'm going to bring it up a little bit. Then contrast right there. The exposure, I'm going to bring it up a little bit more as well. Alright, good. So let's look at the before and after for that. That's the before and after. Then I'm going to go over to here where it says, you know what? I'm just going to okay that. I could call this Camera Raw. I don't know why I have so many doubles. Alright, good. Then I'm just going to Control J. And then I'm going to call this HSL. Because I'm going to do the HSL adjustments now. So I'm going to go back to Camera Raw, Filter, Camera Raw. So I'm going to play with the colors in the background. So I'm going to go over here to where it says HSL Adjustment. I'm actually at Hue. So I'm going to play with the colors in the background now. So green, brown, green, brown, green, brown, green, brown, green, brown, green. I think I'm going to work with green. I've been using green. I'm going to use green, and then I'm going to put a little yellow in the background, a little bit. So green looks good. And then if you move the orange, that actually changes the color of the model's skin. See? And we don't want to do that, so I'm going to go 0 on that. So, okay. So that's the adjustment for the hue, the color. Hue is normally the color. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do now is to add some contrast to the image. So I'm going to go down here and then click brightness and contrast. I'm going to add 10 on the contrast. And then I'm going to go back here to the adjustment layer, and then I'm going to go to color balance. And then, you know, I've never played with the midtone. Let's see. I'm going to add 5 to the midtone. Kind of look a little bit cold. Not going to play with the midtone. Maybe next time. I'm going to come over to the shadows and then 5% on the shadows. And then that looks good. I'm going to go back to the adjustment layer and then go to curves and bring it up a little bit. Alright, good. Then I'm going to go back to the adjustment layer again. Then I'm going to go to color lookup. And then I'm going to put this at about 30%. And then I'm going to try to find one that looks good. So for all these images, I'm going to have to do the same thing right through. So if you're making some adjustments to your images, you have to remember the steps that you went through for the previous image, because you want it to look the same way when you're posting them on Instagram. So I'm just going to find, I like this one. This one is nice as well. Let's look at it before and after for this. Before and after. That one looks good. think I like this one. So this is the Fuji F25. Alright, this one. Alright, good. So I'm going to yeah, I'm gonna work with that one. That one looks good. So let's look at the before and after for everything. We're gonna scroll down to the eye right here. We're gonna hold on the Alt on the keyboard and then click. So that's the before, that's the after. Alright, so that's it for the image. That's it for the image. Let me see what's happening here. I think I have something selected here. Good. So if you have, oh, we could still make some adjustments to this right here. We could remove this. So what I'm going to do, for some reason my frequency separation layer act up sometimes. So I'm going to remove this layer here. I'm just going to delete it. And then I'm going to add frequency separation again, but I'm going to click on this. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to add any frequency separation to this. I'm just going to create a new layer. Alright, and then I'm going to duplicate the new layer, and I'm going to say clean up, or clean, and then I'm going to go back over here and hold on this. I'm going to go to the healing brush. I think that's what I should have selected, the healing brush and not the spot healing brush. Alright, that's not doing anything for me. Alright, I'm gonna go to the spot healing brush. Wait, let me see. Before, oh, it actually did something. It faded it. But I'm going to I'm gonna get this smaller and oh boy. Let me scroll up and then do this one here. Looks like some color fringing is going on right there. I tell you, I don't like using this tool. I'm gonna go to I'm gonna press Shift J for the patch tool. Patch tool works better. So whatever adjustment you're making on this layer, just remember that you cannot adjust it because you're not working on a smart layer. So you can always delete this one and start over again. I don't like working with smart layers because sometimes it takes a long time to load, so I don't really mess around with it. So I'm just working on the image itself. I could always delete the image, or I could just go to the history and go back if I did anything where I want to change it or anything like that. But this is not the right way to do it, but I mean, I'm comfortable working like this, so it all depends on what you're comfortable doing with. I'm basically sharing how I edit my images, so yeah. Alright, good. So that's it for the image. There's nothing else I need to do with this image more than just save it. Yeah, so if you learned something from this video, give me a thumbs up. But guess what? I'm not actually finished. I still need to fix this. I need to fix this. Alright, so right here you can see the ear pin is actually showing. I'm going to try content aware. So I'm making a selection over. You can use any tool to make the selection. And then I'm going to hold on shift and then backspace on the keyboard. And it removed the ear pin right there. I'm going to search for some more ear pins. Don't see any more. But we could still try to fix right here. What would I do with right here? Maybe I could just I think I need to do anything else right there. I think I can just leave it just like this. Or maybe I can maybe remove this part here. Let's see. Do content aware again. What does this looks like? Alright, that looks okay. I really don't think I need to do anything else to that. let me just try to do, I'm just gonna copy this, Control J and Control T. I'm just gonna move this over here a little bit, paste. Then I'm gonna hold on Alt and then click on the what's this, the layer mask, and then I'm gonna get my brush and put my brush at about 84%, and then I'm just gonna mix. Wait, I'm gonna get this small and just mix. This brush is so hard. Ah boy. Alright, I'm just gonna mix this in a little bit. I'm gonna brush it in a little bit. I'm just gonna press X on my keyboard to get this to black. Oh, what's up? X. Then I'm just gonna get rid of some of the parts I don't want. Alright, like that. Good. I think that's okay. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect because, I mean, most people are not going to pay attention to that. I'm only going to be uploading this image to my Instagram, so I'm sure nobody is not going to try to zoom in the image to see if, you know, the flower's crown was created properly. It shouldn't be perfect anyway. So, yeah, that's it. And if you want to go a step further by removing this, we can just create a new layer. Control Shift Alt E, and then duplicate that new layer. And then we could go over to, I'm still gonna give the spot healing brush a chance. Come over here and try to adjust this. That's not bad. It's actually using content aware. Man, I'm not good with this brush at all. I'll go back to J and that one. Alright, then I think I have to do this one as well right here. Keep my brush smaller. I'm honestly not a fan of the of that brush. Trust me. But it's doing a great job actually. Alright, good. I could just come back over here, go to the patch tool and just smooth this out a little bit, just like that. And then like this. Alright. And to get it a little bit better, we can come back down here and then go to frequency separation. Alright, then I'm gonna bring it to the top, so Control Shift the right bracket, bring it to the top. Then I'm gonna go to the low frequency layer, then go back to brush and then Shift B until you see the mixer brush appears. Then we can just mix right here, just to blend it out a little bit so it looks natural. Before and after, see? The mixer brush is powerful, trust me. So we're done. We are finished. There's nothing else we need to do. We could still go a step further to remove this, but I'm not going to remove it. So if you learned something from this video, please give me a thumbs up, share my video, like, subscribe. Well, like and thumbs up is the same thing. But subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more videos. So stay tuned for more videos. I do not have a videographer, so I cannot do any behind the scene, but I'm going to still do my behind the scenes using the GoPro on top of my camera. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Bye bye.